he opens himself up to dangers as well. So for Gukesh, a golden opportunity, but will Mendoza play spoiler?
Oh, that's going to be fun indeed. And how about you, Arturas? If I'm going to force you to pick a single board where we might see the most action?
That's what are the chances for both players. And the first thing I'm seeing, of course, is the A5 move on the board, which basically confirms what I was saying about the game of Abdusattorov in his game against Caruana. You push your side points as far as it gets, and somehow it works well for you. So here we have some sort of a classical Catalan position. Here Giri has positioned his queen on c1, and I would think probably he is looking for the e4 break at some point later. The question is how to do it. Now rook d1 is played.
That's a standard move. I like it. It's a developing move. Lines up the rook against the queen, also preempting any trades in the center. For Prag, he perhaps is looking at expanding the queen side with the move a pawn pushing one step forward as well at the right time. He starts with developing his knight first to d7. And I look at these two players on our screen, right? Praggnanandhaa, undefeated in the tournament so far. The last move, he puts the bishop on a more active square to f4. Also looking at that e5 point where the white knight can jump to, controlling any e5 breaks in the center. But the point I want to make here is just the storyline that these two players have had in the tournament so far. Prag has showed incredible, solid, classy chess, where he has converted long games. He hasn't made any rash decision. In clinical styles, he's got those victories in 3 wins, 5 draws, no losses. For Giri, he's on -1 right now. And I can't help but feel that he can't be too happy with that score. It is an uninspired -1, and I wonder if Giri's tournament would have been a completely different one, Arturs, had in that game 1, instead of the queen retreat, had he spotted the knight retreat, which would have immediately won the game against the world champion. And I have a feeling we would have been seeing a completely different leaderboard if that had happened.
I completely agree, Tanya. I think very often the start of the round defines how we play the rest of the tournament. Not always, but very often it sets the tone. And for Anish, as you said, he played this brilliant game. That was a wonderful prep. Now it's a throwback to round 1 where it was Gukesh who had a long overhaul flight. He had rested only for a couple of hours before his first round game, and he sacrificed a piece, and essentially Giri was just winning at some point, and he missed this move. Essentially victory in 1. He was this close. So of course it affects your performance, but I believe that Anish is a big fighter, so even though he made a lot of draws ever since, he is definitely looking for ways to capitalize on his one move advantage in his game. And by the way, Tanya, just as we speak, Prag is showing his ambitions at the queen side by playing a4. I suppose with an idea to put the queen on a5.
That's a really nice spot for the queen there, right? Eventually you're trying to also get the b pawn into the game. The queen on a5 will be nicely placed for attack. It could also fall back on the a line somewhere to start targeting the central pawns. Pragg, the way he's blitzing out moves, I think he knows that this one is very close to the end.
Bishop c3, I think that's it. Maybe bishop c3, b4, but he had to play a3. So
why not
bishop
e6?
c3.
Why not go with the plan? The clincher.
Right here.
8-6, 8-7, I thought that was our plan all along.
Oh, I don't know. I just try to limit any type of counterplay that black might have. Even there's no counterplay, of course. Tanya, you're completely right. H6 just does the job, and of course Anish also played it. And there's, I think I had a feeling that Pragg is about to resign. No? There's also the bishop g7 and h7 idea at some point, so...
That's beautiful. Rook c7, you just go bishop g7 and then push the h-pawn.
Yeah, allow black to sacrifice the exchange for a pawn, but then you get a third pawn and a fourth pawn. So let's just wait until the end of the game, and there it is. Praggnanandhaa resigns, and Anish Giri scores his very first victory in the Tata Steel Chess Tournament 2025, getting back to the 50% score for Praggnanandhaa, one of the previous co-leaders. Unfortunate loss in this game, but very, very nice game by Giri overall.
Start to finish, absolute domination in this one by Anish. I think he just never let go of the advantage he had. He converted it beautifully, made it look clinical. This is Anish Giri's class. This game, it is, and for Pragg, it's heartbreak. After the tournament he's had so far,